Good morning, Jai Hind. I, Dr. Nishant Kumar Pathak, Associate Professor, Computer Science Engineering Department, Akgec Garg Engineering College. Today's topic of lecture is data analytics. First, the question rises here, what is data analytics and what is the role of the data? It's a very important question. What is data analysis? In the modern time, data plays a very vital and important role. Without data, we can't do anything. So in this perspective, data analysis is very important. So start with this lecture. First, what is data analysis? Data analysis is defined as a process of cleaning, transforming, and modeling the data to discover useful information for business decision and making. In the modern time, I already told that data plays very important role. And in data, there are number of data. In the data, there are number of data in the form of the rows and column. Suppose this is the seats and here the mention is the serial number, here is the mention the name and here is mention the email address. Serial number 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. And here the name, suppose the name is the Ram, Syam, Sita and so on. And this wings generally reflect what? Email address. So something here the mention is the email address @yahoo.com, @gmail.com, something like that. So when you see this thing directly reflect. The reflections of this thing is present or represent the thing, something are informatic, like example, Ram. Here Ram, serial number 1 having Ram and these sections is reflect that Ram email address is what? Syam email address is what? So here I am talking about the 1 and 3 and 2 data, but when we analyze the data in the machine learning or the another predicting modeling algorithms where the millions of data, you have handled the millions of data, we have cleaning and transforming the millions of data and you predict with the help of this data, we predict something and you design some useful model. So the data analysis is defined as the process of the cleaning, transforming and the modeling data to discover useful information for business, decision making and number of things. Data analytics is the science of analyzing the raw data in the order to make the conclusion about the information. Just a simple example, what is here? The Ram email address is showing in the form of tabular form. Here Syam or the Sita's email address is showing here. So the data analytics is the science to analyze the raw data to make the conclusion about the information. What is insert? What is these things? What the reflection is that? The purpose of data analysis is to extract the useful information from the data and taking the decision based upon the data analysis. For example, companies often the record of runtime, downtime, work query for the various machine and to analyze the data, to better plan, to work, loads, so the machines operate closer to peak capacity. The purpose of analyzing to give the better results, to give the results for the future broadcasting, to give the result, to do better in the field of the business, in the field of the medicine, in the field of the different technologies. So data analysis plays very important. Data analysis is defining the process to the cleaning and transforming, and ready to design some model for the business purpose, for the technological purpose, and many more. Now the classification of data. Data having classified into 3 categories. First one is unstructured data, second one is semi-structured data, and third one is structured data. First one is unstructured data, second one is semi-structured data, and third one is structured data. If I am talking about the structured data, unstructured data is the rawest form of the data. Data has no inherent structure, which maybe includes text, document, PDF, images, and video. And this data often stored in the repository of file. What is the meaning of unstructured data? If I am talking about the unstructured data, definitely the form of the table, rows and column form. But here I have mentioned the serial number, here I have mentioned the name, and here I have mentioned the email address. In unstructured data, in the serial number mention the name here Ram, and the name column here the mention the 1 and 2. And the email, sometimes in the email having the mention the name also. So the things is inappropriate. The things insert in the inappropriate places. So the result having generated, and you want to see and you want to conclude and you want to assess, you are facing the problem in unstructured data. It means unstructured data is the raw form of the data. Not fixations forms. Not fix the data where the data is, some data is inserted in any places, some is another places, having not insert in the particular places. So this type of data is known as the unstructured data. If I am talking about the semi-structured data, what is the semi-structured data? Textual data file with a distinct patterns that enables pressing, such as the extensible markup, XML language, the data files, and the JSON, and a consist format defined. However, the structures is not very strict. The semi-unstructured data is often stored as a files. So the some data are the semi-structured, means the some pattern having insert in accurate places. Right, the example here either mention in the serial number, name, or the email address. In the email address positions, in email address where you have mentioned here, not you have mentioned here the email address, you have mentioned here the Ram name, and in the serial number here you have mentioned the email address, but this error accuracy is the error occurrence chances is low. Textual data file with a distinct pattern that enable the pressings, so the problems having the create less amount of problem create in semi-structured data, but in unstructured data, the data having the unstructured way, not in the proper columnizations and the proper row. So in the semi-structures having the less amount of problems having created in semi-structure. If I am talking about the structured data is a tabular data having the accurate row and columns which are very well defined. But unstructured, the row and column is not proper defined. In semi-structures having the less amount of error, but in structured data, structures data are tabular data, rows and columns which are very well defined. Data containing a defined data type, formats, structures which may be the include the transitions data, traditional data, RDB, MS, CSV files, and sample spreadsheets. So the data structures having the proper data. It shows in the rows, it shows in the column, which are very well defined format. When the data is well defined format, it is structured. When the data is not proper and the well defined from in format is unstructured, and when data is having the less amount of errors, they have not the less amount having not in proper place, that is known as the semi-structured data. Characteristics. If I am talking about the characteristics of big data, having the big data is characterized into the 4 dimensions: volume, velocity, variety, and veracity. What is volume? Volume is concerned about the scale of data, the volume of the data at which it is growing. The volume of data is growing rapidly due to the several applications such as the business, social web, and the scientific experiment. The volume is depend upon the size. Volume is depend upon the volume is concerned about the scale of data. The volume is concerned about the growing. The volume is generally it defined the data is growing rapidly due to the several applications of the business and social science, social media sites and web pages, websites, and some scientific experiment also in the considers in volume. If I am talking about the velocity, the speed at which the data is increased, thus demanding analysis of streaming data. The velocity is due to the growing, the speed of business, intelligence, applications such as trading. The transitions of the telecom and the banking domain, growing the number of internet connections with the increased use of internet. This shows the velocity. Now, after velocity, the variety. The data is depict the different form of the data to use for the analysis, such as the structured analysis, semi-structured analysis, and unstructured analysis. Structured analysis already we have covered already. I already covered when the rows and column, when the data is in tabular. Structured data is the tabular data, rows and columns, which are very well defined. Here the variety, it depicts the different form of data to use to analysis, such as the structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. It means variety. Variety here mention one important thing also. In variety, having sometime the data having in the form of text, in some time data having in the form of image, in some time data having in the form of audio, in some time data having in the form of video. So it's reflect the variety. Variety depicts the different form of data to use for analysis, such as the structured, semi-structured, unstructured, and type. Is the textual, is the image form, is the video form, is the audio form. It shows the variety. And veracity. Veracity is concerned about the uncertainty or accuracy of data. Inaccuracy, not accuracy, inaccuracy of data. It means it reflects the rows and columns having the null value. It shows the duplicate values. It shows have the thing is insert in proper place or not. The variety concerned with the uncertainty, inaccuracy of the data. In many cases, the data will be inaccurate. Hence, filtering and selecting the data which is actually needed is a complicated task. A lot of statistical and analytical process has to go for data cleaning, for choosing the data for the decision making process. So here the characteristics in big data characteristics having categorized in 4 different parts. First one is volume, second one is velocity, third one is variety, and then veracity. And these characteristics reflect the nature of data also. Now the question arises, what is big data? Big data, when the number of data increase, millions data having daily produced in the different platforms, millions data. It's very difficult to categorize the data. It's very difficult to analyze each and every data. So the data analytics process were implemented to select out the data, which one is important, which one is not important, and which one is very, very important. So data analytics role to cleaning, verifying, and make accessible for whose that having wants to use the data. And in big data platform is what? Big data and data analytics having the very close relations. When you have the number of data, then predicting and designing the model, accurate model planning is very easy if your data size is more. Here the big data platform is a type of IT solution that combines the features and capabilities of several big data applications and utilize within the single solution. It is in the enterprise classes, IT platforms that enables organizations in developing, deploying, operating, and managing a big data infrastructure environment. Big data platform generally consist of the big data storage, several database, big data management, business intelligence, and the other big data management utilizations. It also supports the custom development, querying, and the integrations with other systems. Big data platforms are also delivered through cloud, where the provider provides an all the inclusive big data solution and services. Features of big data in data analytics platforms. Big data platforms should be able to accommodate the new platform and tool based on the business requirement. It should be support the linear scale out. It should have the capacity for rapid deployment. It should support the variety of data format. Platforms should be provide the data analysis and reporting tool. It should provide the real-time data analysis software. It should have the tool for the search the data through the large data set. So the big data features is what? Big data platform should be able to accommodate the new platforms and the tool based on the business requirement. It should be support the linear scale out. It should have the capacity for the rapid deployment. It should support the variety of data format. Platform should be provide the data analysis and reporting tool. It should be provide the real-time data analysis software. It should be tool. It should have tool for searching the data through the large data sets. Determine the data analysis. Determine the data. The first step to determine the data requirements to how the data grouped. Data may be separated by the age, demographic, income, gender, geographical conditions, area. So determine the data in different formats. Data value may be the numeric or may be divided. It may be the plotting, it may be numeric, it may be the character, it may be the double. So the determine the data having say different sets. Then the second phase is the collection of data. The second step in the data analytics is the process of the collecting it. This can be done through the variety of sources such as computer, online sources, camera, environmental sources, personal sources. So the data analytics first they determine the data. Second one the collection of data. Then the organizations of data. Third step the organize the data. Once the data is collected, it must be organized. It can be analyzed. Organizations may take place on the spreadsheet or the other form of the software that can take the statistical data. And the fourth is the cleaning. In the fourth step, the data is then cleaned up before analysis. This means it is checked to ensure there is no duplications or error and that is not incomplete. These steps help the correct and any error before it goes to data analytics to be analyzed. Now, here I am discussing the four major points. The first one is determine the data. Second one is the collection of data. Third one is organizing and data. And the fourth one is cleaning of data. Now the modern data analytics tools, Apache, Hadoop, Tableau, there are some certain tools, R programming. This is the tool. With the help of this tool to easy maintaining the easy broadcasting the data, easy to measure the data accuracy, to design the data, design the tool with the help of analyzing the data. In R programming, R is the free open source software programming language and a software environment for the statistical computing and the graphics. It is used by the data miners for developing the statistical software and the data analysis. It has become the highly popular tool for the big data in the recent years. If talking about a Tableau, Tableau is the another popular big data tool. It is simple and very interactive. It communicates insights of data through data visualization. Through Tableau, you analyze and check hypothesis. You design the hypothesis and explore the data before starting the work. So in these modern tools, there are a number of tools, and with the help of these tools, we easily analyze, easily understand the concept of the data analysis process. Now, thank you. Next thing cover in the next lecture.